are the pageant gurus, and we have finally come here. And this is the post review show of the Miss Universe pageant, which I'm sure everybody's waiting to watch, Guru, because we've got so much to cover, so much to say, and so much happened. Overall, how do you feel with the new management change in general? And let us know what we're going to expect in this episode.
Yes, thank you, Emma. I think Miss Universe season is over, and I'm glad it's over because it was a torture. It was a torture,
Mm,
and which is why we really took out some time to relax, to grapple with our emotions, and then finally take out the final verdict, as we call it. I do believe most of the pageant bloggers have taken out what they had to say. But I do feel we have a lot more to say, so you must stick around. What we're going to do is very simple. If you look at our live reaction already there on YouTube, go check it out. Unfiltered and truly authentic, what we felt. Yes, this show is being come and is coming under a lot of scrutiny because of the production value of what's happening
mm,
in terms of the management, but everything wasn't really lost equally. There are good points as well which we'd like to highlight. And of course, controversies has become the name of Miss Universe, which probably was earlier Miss MGI. So I think that crown is now going to Miss Universe. So good things, bad things, ugly things, things that must be changed if they want to continue, and things that they should continue. So, what we'll do is we'll talk of the opening number, the stage, production, the hosts, the judges. That's one section. Move on, the top 30, the big cut. Was it good enough? Did our favorites make it? Who were the exclusions? Any shockers? Then we move on to the swimsuit round. Here again, what do we have to say about that in terms of our favorites, people who disappointed, girls who really brought their A game on at finals? And then was the cathartic cut to 12, where we again
mm.
look at our favorites, the shockers, people that we want, or girls that we wanted to place but couldn't, and girls who just found their way. Then is the all important, finally, the evening gown round that we saw. There again, a lot of things to be discussed. Where the gowns were really lacking, which girls wore gowns which were better compared to their prelims, and where girls should have just
Mm.
continued with what they wore in the preliminary. Then we have, of course, the killer cut, the top five. Then we have the two question answers. Then we have the farewell walk. Then we have the announcement. And then we have what's cooking after the competition. So a lot to be addressed, but very, very quickly, guys. So without further ado, Emma, the question comes back to you. How do you think was the set, the production? When we opened the Miss Universe competition, we already knew that there's a preliminary stage, not happy with it, but now is action time. What were your first reactions? Yes, considering the fact that you were hardly able to watch anything, considering all the streams that we were doing that, I think
I
horrible,
think
horrible, horrible for any pageant lover. I think Miss Universe, the first thing they could have done is to provide good quality streaming, something that is assured, something that's workable to people around. So sorry for the mismanagement. We were not able to
absolutely. I
see it.
think,
So over
correct.
to you, Emma.
The thing is, Guru, so much is covered, and this is what we're going to try and do really, really quickly. And the first thing, my pet peeve was even last year, even this year, make up your mind. Either you want to sell this, sell it to us so we can watch it, or don't. You charge people, and then you show it live, and then you don't show it live, and then you show it live, and then you don't show it live. It was a disaster. There were so many vloggers that were watching from America were cursing Miss Universe because of this, because they just can't make up their mind whether to charge or not to charge. So for me, it was a disaster. I really don't know. I had to watch the entire show again to see what happened. And to answer your question, Guru, it was absolutely horrifying to watch what I saw. It was boring. I don't know what the hell I was watching. It was the most boring LEDs. There was nothing. There was nothing on that stage. There was nothing on those LEDs. We didn't see anything extravagant, anything beautiful. I think, I mean, out of a 10, out of, if I have to rank it from 1 to 10, that was probably a -3 for me because it was the worst I've seen this year because we saw Cosmo take over, and my God, that rocket thing was like, that's an LED, so huge, and it was amazing. Like, oh my God, it was spot on throughout. So you're competing with a new pageant. You're a legendary pageant, and you have taken over. You need to bring it on. This was not like what it was in El Salvador. That was possibly the best stage I've ever seen in a while, and it was absolutely space age. It was beautiful, and they pulled it off. So what happened, Mexico? We were very, very disappointed. I mean, Raul, what is going on? I hope this doesn't happen next year. So again, we who do we blame on this, Guru? We can't really keep going up to Conan on this, but then because how much did she actually
Not
play into this
Conan.
organizing, this production? I don't think she had much of a role in it. You could see her chilling out with Osmel in those wonderful videos that went viral for her controversial reasons. I think it was funny. I don't think people should have taken that too seriously, but they did take that seriously. However, how do you, what's the blame game? Are we going to do a blame game? Because all of overall, it was a disaster. The production, what I was watching at home, what I saw, what I finally got to saw, the music was atrocious. Um, Apparently for the two singers that were fine in the opening, but the opening number was like all haphazard. That was not what I was. What did you think of the opening number nine? Because you saw it live, I saw it much later. What did you think when you first saw it?
Just picking up from your point on sales of whether to charge or not, I think this knee-jerk, haphazard reaction going and swaying is something that Miss Universes seem to be okay with, but they
Mm,
don't know, or they don't, or they feel that the fans are stupid. They feel by
mm,
saying, okay, now we have listened to the fans. We are more than extended.
mm,
We have listened to the fans. We are going to give you evening gown. We are listening to
uh,
you. Now it's free. We
mm,
are doing this. It's like a favor. You're not doing anyone any favor. Let
no.
me be just very, very upfront. Evening gown, yes, no, fan vote, yes, no, continental queen suddenly come up. It's just too convoluted. Stick to what is working right for you. Miss Universe, yes, is a legacy and is a reason being that the way the competition is staged, it looked like a competition. There was
Yeah.
fair judging. We could see what we are seeing is what people, is eventually happening. Very few times where cases where we felt she didn't deserve to win. But the last, 5, 6 years is where we've actually started questioning why. And whenever there is a question mark, we've understood that it is either a management change or there are pressures from outside where these things are happening. I think the cracks between the Mexican legacy organization as well as with Conan's
Mm.
JKN, I think that even though she sold it at a profit, but I don't think the quality of production is something that the Mexicans are capable of pulling off. They fired a lot of their US staff when it came to production house and the people who used to manage that. I think that was clearly showing. It looked like a 10-year backstage. We've seen this in Miss Earth, for example, in 2010. That kind of
Mm.
vibe. It was not fresh because you look at the LED lights or the screens that are panels which are available in the market. You've seen that not just with Cosmo, you've seen that with even with the Grand International. The TV comes alive. We can feel that we are part of the entire event. None of that was available. So for me,
And
it
it was the same
was
company that did the El Salvador
yeah, yeah,
stage. And
it's
then
money,
I guess it was a budgeting issue as well, because
money. Yeah.
if they made such a blunder on something that's so good at doing, it obviously was a budget issue. So yeah, I mean, having said all that, it was just absolutely. I don't know why did that happen. Were they having conflict of interest between Conan and Raul at that time? Were they both fighting in the
I think
backstage
this
that
is
we
the
didn't
best
know
they can
about?
do.
So there are many reasons
This is the best
because
they
it
can do.
looks like if you look at it, Guru, if you actually look at it, from having sometimes evening out and this, I think they were both fighting. Like, no, I want this, I want this. No, you can't have that. No, you can't have that. So I feel it was something you sort this nonsense out before you come across, because we're the fans and we're the ones who put you there. We're the ones who make you famous. We're the ones who make you earn the money because we're passionate about pageantry. So you need to sort your crap out before you come on screen.
Not this will happen till the time both of them have 50-50 partnership. Till the time
Yeah, and they
it's
have
equitable,
to, and they can say there's a lot of clashing because Raul is I actually like Raul, funnily. For some reason I'm not he's sexy, yes. But other than that, I do feel there's something about Raul that is sorted, because I do like the way he handled the judging. And I feel for a fact that the judging entire scene that happened with all the judges and all the girls being interviewed was Raul altogether. So we did see fair judging because we saw a lot of girls which we're gonna talk about later. So I feel that Raul aspect has brought back a little bit of that fun Miss Universe thing that we saw. We even saw Trump tweeting about this. He was also excited about the fact that even though it was a disaster show, he was happy about the Trump era of judging. So I knew he was talking about that. So for that reason, I think Rahul brought it on. But I do feel that there are these issues where they're having clashes, and it's clearly showing in the production, it's clearly showing in the way this first maiden pageant for Rahul happened. And I'm hoping like hell we don't get to see that next year. And I hope like hell, Victoria gets a wonderful reign, as not as tumultuous has it been for Arvini, Harnaz, and Shainas. And I hope this doesn't happen. So that's one positive I'm seeing of Rahul. But other
Another
than
thing
that,
about the stage is because we were given such high hopes, that it's going to be the largest stage and it's going to be the infinity.
yeah,
I
but
think
then
the
that ego, who
kept the
said it? I
convincing.
think that ego came out from Kunan, the largest
Conan.
stage, the bean of the world. She's the one, it's, if you look at it, it's that energy from Kunan who says all that crap, that
True, true,
egoistic
true.
crap. I don't think Rahul has put that across, So I feel that what are we hearing from Rahul? What are we hearing from Kunan? I think that's
Okay,
what's
but
happened
khichdi is
here.
not very palatable. Either you
No.
go this way or that way. It's because I think he brings a lot of Latin power, which clearly came in terms of, the finalists that were done, also in terms of just the production value. It's very similar to what happened at Miss Mexico. That's the way, that's their production standard. Probably it's not important
Yeah.
to them. So that's how it came across. But what about the hosts? What did you have to say about
The
Olivia
host
and
is
Mario?
interesting. Yeah, I think my favorite host, of course, is Catriona, whether she's in the front or the back or wherever. She is my sweetheart, and I think we always love her. Though Olivia is like, we've seen her a lot on stage. She's like, I mean, I think she functions very well. I don't think I won't say she's fantastic, but I think yeah, it works. I think it works with Olivia. I forgot the other guy's name.
Mario
Oh,
Lopez.
yeah, Mario Lopez. I mean, he's just who he is, and he's always spot on. I think it was decent. I don't think it was as horrible as which was that other pageant we saw this year that had really crazy supranational. It was
Even Miss
supranational.
Miss India, Miss Universe India.
Miss Universe India. Okay, let's not go there. Miss Universe India was a disaster, but I think Super. So yes, Olivia Culpo and Maria. Maria is like amazing. So I think it worked. I love the backstage better. When
Oh
Catriona
yeah.
and yeah, I mean I think that was a treat. We would love, but when the break would happen and these two would come on, it would not be boring. I would be like, yeah, okay, what are they saying? They were dressed amazingly. So I think it worked. I think the host worked.
Again,
I think what
I would not agree
the
or agree
disaster was the
partially.
production, the stage, the music.
No, on the music
I
part,
think it worked. I mean, we've not seen anything great this year.
it's just
MJ
average.
was fine, but Cosmo again was like there was a little problem, and but I feel it was okay. I mean, compared to the whole production, it was okay.
I think there are two parts to it. I think the responsibility of the back stage correspondence is very different compared to what you have in front stage, because backstage is more about having more knowledge, really brushing up what you need to speak and improvising, whereas the stage hosts, they have a clear script, they have to follow it and their time. So I think that is very, very distinct in terms of what responsibility each of them have. However, whenever these two guys have come together, Olivia and Mario, it's not a, it's okay, it's not. Last year, you remember there
I
was
liked a man
GT9,
on stage. We never saw a man in the
which
last few
which
years.
is fine, but
And
20 years back when no 2007 when this happened last time in Mexico, even then the host was Mario Lopez, and that time he had done a very good job because his partner was very, very effective. Whereas here I saw that while Mario is there, but again, you know, Olivia is swinging and swaying with her mic. She seems to just not be invested in the game. Whereas if you saw last year, there
so
was one of the
that's
male
her
hosts.
always.
There
Remember,
was no, she's always lackluster. She needs that Red Bull. And Jeannie
how are
Mai
you
was
feeling,
there.
girls? And then she turns.
Uh,
We made that
so
real. Remember, so
I
that's her
don't
nature.
know. I think whereas I think they've got the other two right, which is Catriona and Zuri Hall, spot on.
Why
What is
can't Katrina
working?
come on stage? Or like I
We
would prefer
all
her
want
on
her.
stage.
But you
I
know
don't
what
know
I've
why they
also
do that.
noticed? She has done some hosting, which is your front stage host at Bini Bini, and I find that a little bit not her. It's not her thing. Whereas back
Uh,
doing great because otherwise she can be
uh,
little little.
She's a little whimsical. So I think she's whimsical. So I think that's why what's not on stage. On stage you got to be a little refined, and I feel she's a little whimsical. So
Because she
probably that
herself
that's
is a
what.
pageant fan. Because she herself, I think
Yeah.
that energy
So
comes in and she
she,
can't
she can't
stop.
control her emotions and she wants to blurt out things that she's probably not supposed to blurt out. So I guess, and I think Olivia has a poker face, so she won't show it like if she's reading the cards and who's there, she has a poker face. I think that's why it works. I know she stumbled. I felt she was a little, it's like she was getting a little old, maybe, or she's tired,
Well,
like how I
all
feel
the
in the
best. She's
mornings
not
without
present.
my coffee. Yeah.
She's not present
So
in the moment.
yeah, she'll not present moment. Okay, so let's run through. We got so much to cover. Let's quickly finish up this. Okay, so we talked about judges, we
Judges.
talked about judges. Now the performance song. I mean, honestly, it was I completely forgot it.
It
I
was,
have no
my
idea what
God,
the hell it was.
the
So,
beginning opening number. I actually liked it because it had that whole Mexicana vibe, and there was this. But
the dresses are beautiful. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so weird that they have this music and then it stops and then something else plays and then they come back and they repeat the same music. So it was like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It was not synchronized. It was very,
Mm,
editing was the issue. We've seen so many cases where things are pre-recorded. When
yeah.
this universe opens the number, some portions of this competition are pre-recorded, and that
Uh-huh.
happens. It's fine, but the way you mesh it up with the live audience is also very important. So, be it, you know, mic, music, connecting, not being able to hear what Catriona is saying. You could feel that jarring lag between, there's no synchronicity, if I may say. It was
Mm,
quite bad in that angle of editing and production as well. The sounds and music was nice, the sound was not good enough. It was going up and
mm,
down. You could hear the backstage correspondence. Olivia is just rumbling something. You can hear all of that. There has to be some way in which you can
mm.
have tight, crisp production. If you see MGI, the way
Yeah,
the host
yeah. It
talks
it
has
wasn't.
voice, it's clean, it's cut. You're not looking out for what are they saying. So
None of it went seamlessly. That's for sure. It did not. There were a lot of
yeah, cuts
hindrances
and downs.
and stuff. And I think I like them. I think it was they call it the mariachi band. They call it the mariachi band. I think I love the music. I love the outfits. It was if you guys have seen this famous movie Three Amigos, it just gave me that feel, and I love that movie Three Amigos. Gotta watch it. The most funniest movie on this planet. So the
That
thing
was
is,
the
I
head
love
judge.
all that Mexican feel to it. They brought their culture into the outfits, so I love that they brought their culture into the outfits. We got to see that. And but then it was white, it was lovely. And if you look closely, you can see the detailing on the dresses. So the dresses I did like. I
Nice.
really loved the boots. I thought it was beautiful. I think the girls were styled fantastic. So that's one plus point. So you know what? Okay, guys, you did something right. I think the styling and you brought the Mexican culture into the first scene of the opening number, which I liked. Apart from that,
The
it just
band,
all
all these
just
guys were
yeah,
standing across the
yeah,
stage.
with
That was
those
nice.
the sombreros. Yeah, it was beautiful seeing them with the
Who was the
sombreros
head?
and the
Why was there a
Spanish
head judge?
guitar. Huh?
Why was there a head judge?
I have no
This guy
idea.
is Emilio Estefan. He suddenly comes and says, "Hola to Mexico
Oh,
City,"
that guy!
and
Yes, yes,
then
yes. Oh,
and
yes, he was
then this
sitting on
guy,
the side.
and out of nowhere, and imagine they're taking the video. There is a girl behind who's taking a selfie, and
He
then this
was
guy saying,
head
"I'm
judge.
yeah, he's the head
Huh,
judge." And then they have this drone. This drone goes
huh,
in the sky. This go
huh.
and it's in no man's land. And for a good 10-15 seconds, it's just hovering on black spaces where people are just sitting down. There is no stage for 15 seconds. It's just roaming, and they've caught that very, very horribly made. And what is the role of the head judge? Nothing of that is mentioned. Why is
I
he the
thought
head
he
judge?
was some special ambassador from Mexico, and he was sitting there like a special. Because I didn't, I know him, Emilio Sto, I know him, but I didn't know he was the head
It
judge. I
was
didn't probably hear that.
it makes no sense. As in, why not? For
And
example,
he was dancing, and all these
Michael
women were
Cinco.
in the
Why is
back, and
Michael
like,
Cinco not the head judge? Why do if you've got a jury? At least, thankfully, it's not an all-woman panel, which used to be there. So there's diversity, but then again, majority of them are Latino. And that's clearly how we saw things moving. Even the way the format was, it was very in favor of few sections of the world. So I couldn't grapple with the judges
see,
having
I
too many
had
judges. I
no
just
idea he was head judge. I remember him. I don't know
uh,
what. I thought he was some special chief guest or
correct.
something sitting
And
over there.
and in
I
fact,
never thought.
his chair and table were also separate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which is like as if he's the auditor or what? It's he's not like Julia Molly. Then ideally, then Raul Rocha and Anne should be sitting there if that's the case. So I didn't like the concept of a head judge without even declaring what the responsibility of that head judge is. He
He
going to be
gives
the
some
one who give the
donation.
veto, or
Maybe
is
he gives some
Edward
donation or
going to be the
something.
final? And why? Just because he sang free of cost. So I don't like these. It's like when Akshay Kumar gets an award, he says, "Film, I'll dance, so you will, give me the award." So it's I don't want that to seep in, Otherwise, then there will be like the way we have for contestants and national directors. It'll be for judges. Okay, I'll pay this much. I'll do a song for you. You make me a judge, which happens normally for sponsors. We've seen that sponsors end up
Yeah.
becoming in seats of
Yeah.
decision making. So it's a bit of a khichdi. I miss the times when Miss India used to have a diverse set of judges from culture, art, news.
The
You know,
same can be said, Guru, with this year when we saw Hira Mandi thing and Miss World and we saw
oh,
the Shark Tank. What was that? This was still better. This guy was
yes,
still better.
agreed.
That
That
nonsense of
that
Miss
had no,
World.
and the same faces are saying the same way,
Yeah,
huh?
Shark Tank somewhere, the Hira Mandi fashion show, Netflix. What was that? What was that? Those nonsense. So
Nobody
I
wants
think
to.
compare, this was okay. Emilio sitting there, okay, koi baat nahi, baith ja bhaiya. It was okay.
No,
It didn't Beja fry us as much as Miss World Beja fried us with that
uh,
whole Netflix, I don't know, montage. What was it? I don't know. So, in that comparison,
no.
better. I think it's okay. I'm okay
No, no,
with it.
point taken. We need to know about the next top 30 when the announcement
Okay,
was happening.
so top 30 was like we were having like I was having hiccups and it was early morning. I was tired, but oh my God, I'll tell you something. Very happy with the top 30 and very surprised with the girls that came in as well, especially Argentina because she's somebody we all overlooked and she was really tall. But then I guess the judges saw something in her that we did not. And I love one thing about it, Guru, the judging, whoever did it, 30 girls, there was an equal Latinas, and then you had the Europeans, and you had the Asians, and you had the Africa, Middle East. All of them was a blend of it. I think it was done well. Yes, there were some girls we really wanted to see there, which did not make it, but I think it was a good blend because we saw from all those continental zones a perfect pick, almost a perfect pick of everybody that we wanted to make it. So for
I
that
think,
reason, I think I was kind of happy.
yeah, I
And
was,
although there was some new inclusions, Japan and things like that, we were like, okay, well, what did we miss? But you know what? I think I'm not going to complain on it. I think it was pretty fair. I think it was fair game from what I saw in top 30. What did you think?
I think the continental scheme of things work because there is a
It did.
representation across the universe if you call yourself a global pageant. Second point, it was also constructed in such a way that new countries get their a fair chance, or at least believe that they have a fair chance, at least in the first cut, like the way we saw last year, where we had inclusion as one
Hmm.
set of candidates, where there was a mom, there was a trans woman, there was a plus size woman, and a mother as well. So this year it was all about the new franchises because they have actually got more than 40 more countries, compared to what they are used to. And each of them are giving them a license fee for them to feel that they have an equal skin in the game to
Yeah.
hope to at least win Miss Universe. The first cut was very diverse. China hasn't placed for God knows how long. Similarly,
Mhm.
Macau was new. Even Bolivia, even Canada for that matter, there were, and I think that's a good number with 120 plus contestants. 30 is a good number so that you can play along. I didn't like the announcement, the way it was announced. It was like, it wasn't suspenseful enough. Like when we saw in Harnaz's time, it
For
was peaking and suddenly,
for me, it was all suspense because Guru was saying it
it
and
was
then
not,
screaming it, and
yeah.
I saw it. So it was all suspense for me.
Other
But
thing was that after they were announced, there was this 10-second montage of them in the sunset. It was not very,
raunchy,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
very
raunchy.
sexy, it
Yeah, it
was
was a
very
very,
raunchy. I know Osmel was behind that, it was very seductive.
uh,
I don't know. I mean,
I think for
it was
me,
interesting. It wasn't very empowering to women, but
yeah, it wasn't, but at least it was the same and it was short because normally they have these girls talking forever.
I was happy it was
You know,
short and
it was
quick and the
fast.
next girl came on. Yeah, so I think I'm happy with the short montage, even
I
if
was
it's a little.
not I was not sad that anybody did not make it.
Yeah.
If
Hmm.
I had like I had Brazil there, but she did not make it. I was not I was not unhappy. It was okay. you
Hmm.
know So I think that was my top 30 feeling. And the good part was India came as number second. So at least we were at peace that she's at least come. And now
Yeah,
we
I
look
think that was the
to
first. That was the first. Usually she's middle towards the end that India's always announced, and we're having heart attacks. So it was interesting that the second name. I think it was sad for Rhea because I think she really thought that she was going to progress to the next round because she was called second. I think that is a natural, instinct that you'd have. So I think she must have been heartbroken when that happened. So but yes, I think they got it right, and I think to an extent, all of it I'm not complaining. I agree with Brazil, but then you know what? If you look at the other girls and the way they saw something, it was I'm not looking for the word. It was equal. There was equality in the judging. There's equality within the countries and the zones which I saw, and there was not just the Latinas dominating, which everybody thought they were going to dominate, and they actually took them all together and they were equal. So that was a one good thing. I'm sure 100% Rahul. Rahul had everything to do with that.
Rahul, take a chill
That's
pill.
why I'm happy. For that reason, yeah. Oh, and now let's quick move on. Shocker
Good.
exclusions. Guru, who was your shocker
No one
exclusion?
was shocker. Brazil,
Hmm.
who is the Altacuyo winner, I think she's been given this award. So she was on my
She was
list, but
given what award?
the Altacuyo award she was
Oh,
given.
yeah, yeah. That's coming up. Yeah, yeah.
So that was the only shock. But other than that, no.
It went pretty well. I think it was like fair, and I don't think we were like heart attack moments as such, to be honest.
No, it
Okay, the
wasn't.
surprise placements. Who was your surprise placements in the top 30?
It was Macau, China.
Argentina was the surprise. Actually, I was kind of wondering how we left her out, but
China was
yeah.
there, but I just felt that her headshot was amazing, but I just felt that other girls had taken over. But yeah, she did extremely well. She in fact moved till the top 12. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, she was a pleasant surprise because I expected her to place, but someone like a Macau, no,
Yeah.
not in my wildest imagination. I would have
I
thought
know, I know, I know. Did I have Macau on my list?
no, that was for
That
grand.
was, yeah, that was a brand. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
And even
But yeah, it
Aruba.
was,
Aruba was also someone that I did not think. And even Nicaragua. Actually, Nicaragua was the biggest shocker.
yeah, oh my God, yes.
I don't know from
It
where
was the
she
shot
came.
round
And
down here. Who made it in top 30? It was France, India, Serbia, Vietnam, Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Canada, Cuba, China, Egypt, Cambodia, Dominican Republic, Finland, Aruba, Russia, Malaysia, Bolivia, Ecuador, Philippines, Macau, Peru, Thailand, Mexico, Argentina, Nigeria, Denmark, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and Chile. So yeah, I think it was Serbia. We were surprised with Serbia coming in, but definitely Nicaragua did not deserve it. I don't know. She was like, I don't know. She
had
didn't
an
fit the.
amazing interview. I don't know, but it was beyond comprehension when she was called out.
She was. I don't know how. Is it out of just respect for Shayna's that they just said okay Nicaragua placement? It was just absolutely any other girl could have taken that. She was just no. It was such a downgrade from Janice from previous years. I don't know why she was there, but I think it was just sorry to say it, guys, but I think it was just out of respect for Nicaragua that she's there. But then, of course, we saw the swimsuits, and then we're gonna talk about our top 12. So now we're gonna talk about the swimsuit. First of all, I'm just going to keep it very, very short. Same swimsuit, bored me. No capes. I just the music was boring. Everything was like, oh, it's okay. It did not wow me like Miss Universe wows us in swimsuit where we get hot. Like I still remember, was it Miss Teen USA or was it Miss Universe where we had Heidi sing fashion? And oh my God, it was like no body language. It was Heidi singing Heidi Montage singing body language, and oh my
I
God,
don't
that's the
remember.
simple. That's the energy you want to see. I think it was Miss Teen USA. You want to see that energy on the stage on swimsuit, and we missed that. The swimsuits were the same, the capes were the same. I would have liked to see the top 30 in separate swimsuits, but no, we didn't get to see that. So, nah, it was absolutely for me. What did you think, Guru, about the whole swimsuit competition?
Swimsuit is such an important element according to the new management that it was more important than evening gown. But I just felt that the music was actually very ethereal. It had that very Zen vibe. I could hear Indian singers singing behind. There was a fusion mix plus, those very enchanting rhythms of Himalayas, and the flute is playing. But because of the poor sound quality, it rubbished everything. I'm so sorry. There were times where people didn't know, or the girls didn't know where to take cue from. Girls didn't know where to move. Some people are moving. Enough practice was not done. There was not a wow moment, and you're absolutely right. Last year, with Shanice just opening the swimsuit competition and that music, high pitch, high energy, the crowd was behind it. Here, like we are waiting Olivia to say Serbia, and Serbia is like waiting. And if it doesn't happen at that time, you miss the mark, it just falls flat. And I think there were many such instances. We also saw Miss China. She's trying to, do her cape. The cape is down. It's
And
not.
then again,
And then she's smiling. Okay, it is what it is. Just let's move on. It's like,
I know,
one of those
yeah.
races going on. Miss Dominican Republic was amazing for me. She really knew her mark, but again, she was a little lost this time compared to her preliminaries. India
Hmm.
opened very well, actually. And though there were different designs, but it was still the same blue. I wish there was a little more color, or a little more things that can accentuate her. I've seen in Latin, when Latin things are in Latin America, what one should do is always try to wear two-piece swimsuit. I wish that Miss India had worn a two-piece swimsuit, because this was, to the Latin judges, I feel a bit flat. Even though she was emoting, she was moving, there's a bit of energy there compared to, say, France, who opened. But I do believe that the style of the swimsuit makes a lot of difference, and maybe should have chosen another swimsuit cut. Things could have gone well in her favor.
Yeah, I agree on that.
I
But
feel.
then she was competing with such strong contestants. I think it was pretty hard for her to kind of stand out.
But
I
that was
do
also
think, of
big.
course, Denmark was my favorite. I loved her walk. Chile was amazing. Nigeria was amazing. Fantastic body on Nigeria. So, and there were standouts in the
Nigeria did very well, actually. Nigeria in her
Nigeria was
preliminary was
amazing.
okay,
I
but
still
in the
have that
finals,
about her big lace, but she works it. I think on swimsuit she was fantastic. Although she was like, we'll talk about the next round and what happened with her. But yes, I think it was fine. Some girls were good, but I didn't like the music. I wanted it that high tempo where it's like, it swims and you want to scream looking at the girls. And that's what we saw in El Salvador. When Miss Nepal, she's a curvy woman and she wore a one piece and it worked on her body because on that body it works. So everybody was screaming. There was this madness. I didn't get that madness like
only
you
was
know?
there for Mexico. But Mexico was actually good. She had an
Mexico was
amazing
gorgeous.
banging body.
Mexico was gorgeous throughout. So we don't, I mean, like her looks, everything was fantastic. Apart from when she opened her mouth and started talking, but when it went to down the slide, the whatever hill, it went to really bad. But other than that, she's a gorgeous woman, and she had every right to be there. So she was fantastic. Chile was also amazing. But yeah, I think my eyes was always on Denmark, always on her, and it was just this nice little sweetie walking. So it was yeah, they need to step it up next year because the swimsuit round is apart from evening gown, swimsuit has to be high tempo. You cannot be doing Zen music. I don't know what's going on, honestly. It has to be high tempo, it has to be full of
Good.
energy and a quick walk. And a quick walk competition in swimsuit has always worked. They were not walking as fast in the preliminaries as well. And I found it was too slow. So I think it has to have energy and they have to bring that into it. And that's what the fans want to see.
Emma, if you see Grand International this time, the
Oh
music,
my God. Whoa. Yep.
it wasn't high pitched. There was a bit of, Latin American vibe. Ta, ta,
Yeah.
ta, 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 ta. So it wasn't
But it
loud about, but
worked.
still
They
it
were
was
like
sharp. It was sharp.
sexiness.
Yeah, there was a
Sexiness
bit of
has to be
sensualness
there.
that was
Yeah,
missing.
the sensualness has to be there. It has to be sexy, sensual, and it wasn't there. We did not see that on stage. It was just an average thing. So that's what I missed.
Well,
So
I think there was one girl that actually took my breath away, and she was Miss Russia in swimsuit. My
yes.
God, she was like another Miss Universe
That
2002.
girl should, I don't know. I
Tana
mean, she can
Fedorova,
compete in grand
amazing.
or something. She can go to Miss Grand. I don't know where she can go, but that girl needs to compete in come back. She is so phenomenal, that woman. Her hair, her look, her outfits throughout the competition was spot on. And although she had a similar gown, she's radiant. That woman is so pretty. So I do want to see Valentina come back again somewhere and hoping to win the crown.
And what
So
is your view on Miss Philippines?
Miss Philippines in the swimsuit?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I liked her. I then again, honestly, something was missing. I don't know why I felt something was missing. I mean, if I'm comparing Michelle, because I'm always comparing Michelle to Philippines, like if she was my sweetheart of all time. And then I'm seeing Catriona's turn, iconic turn in swimsuit, you know? So when you're looking at these girls and then you're seeing Chelsea, it lacked that energy, I feel.
I
Um,
do feel for Chelsea, she had really upped her game in the finals. Earlier in prelims, she had curly hair. Now it was straight. She had that same catty walk where she's walking and her leg moves here, here. Slowly she moves and she was trying to play and flirt with the camera.
but
However,
it didn't come,
you
it
know,
didn't, wasn't 100%. I don't
no,
know.
no, no, she did very well. However, you know what the problem is? The problem is that the judges in the preliminary and the judges in the finals are the same. What happens then is that they already have a view of Chelsea because of what she has done, what she has won, how she has done. Now it's an incremental view that they're going to see, which is why the
Okay.
girls changed their preliminary and their final competition gowns, which wasn't the case earlier. Whoever
Hmm.
used to win used to have the same evening dress. But because you need variety and you need a fresh um, shock value or a surprise value, which is why they changed their
Hmm.
gowns as well. Now, for swimsuit as well, if the judges have made up their mind that this is not a very strong catwalk, but when you do the finals, that means, why was she not doing it in the preliminary? Whereas a
Hmm.
girl who
Hmm.
consistently gives that performance and just ups her game, you look at how Shanice did it last year. It was amazing. It was really
Yeah.
nice. And she upped her game because she hit the last part of her sachet.
That's the thing with Shayna. She was consistent throughout, whether it was preliminaries, whether it was
Consistency is very
the
important.
events
Yes.
that were happening. It's just this girl was smooth. She did not show anything. She was just so calm, cool, and so collected throughout the competition. And that's why even in the finale, she just was elegant and royal and regal at that entire thing. But the thing with Chelsea, I don't know what happened. I think the girl has taken a lot of negative energies from bloggers and people like that. I could see like differences in every appearance of her. There was something either better or a little low or a little something. So I just feel that girl should have been nurtured a little bit more. Our favorite. So it was very difficult for Guru and I to put her at number 13. And we both had her at number 13. I remember when we were doing our final
True.
prediction. It was painful to do that because Philippines has always made it like top 10 for us. So, and she's brilliant. She's very beautiful. And she reminds me of this girl. I forgot this, that actress in How Stella Got Her Groove Back, that movie. I forgot her name. Very famous actress. She reminds me of her. And so I want to see more from Chelsea. I want to see more from her. And I do hope we see something wonderful from her in a career ahead. She could probably come and host again. I mean, that would be amazing if she could host. I think she's a very pretty woman. But sadly, she did not sparkle for me.
Mm.
That was my problem. I love her, but did she sparkle for me? No. I had her in my top 30, but after that, it just kind of didn't go much for me. So I don't know. I don't even want to criticize it as such. I just want to say that I just didn't feel it. That's it. And I love her. So there's nothing more I want to say about that girl because she's remarkable in her own amazing way. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, nobody disappointed me. What actually happened was for me, Guru, no one disappointed as much as I loved. I focused on the ones I loved. Oh, I love her. I love her. So that was happening, and the ones I loved were doing well. So that happened for me. So I would not say somebody did that. But
And then
yeah, and
after
after that, okay, who's
end
turn?
of the competition, finally the biggest cut,
Top 12.
top
And
12.
who made it in the top 12? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Who were the
Made it in top 12. Did I
any
write that
shockers in the
down?
top 12 that you didn't expect? I did not for sure expect Canada.
Hmm.
I did not expect her to be there. I did not expect Bolivia to be there. And I did not expect Argentina to be there. I expected Cuba to be there.
Uh,
And I expected India to be there. But I think those were my
okay, here was top 12. Bolivia, Mexico, Venezuela, Argentina, Puerto Rico, Nigeria, Russia, Chile, Thailand, Denmark, Canada, and Peru. So yeah, I think Venezuela, nobody really spoke about Venezuela. I did not, I don't know, I just didn't like her much. I didn't focus much on her. But that's what we saw in the top 12. And we never spoke about her in this episode, but she was there. Bolivia, of course, was a little lackluster for me. Now I'm not thinking about it. But yeah, so top 12 was interesting because we got to see Nigeria make it. We got to see Bolivia make it, which was a shocker, actually. That was quite a shocker to see Bolivia make it. Um, I think Canada making it as well was shocking for me. And Argentina making it was a shocker for me, you
pretty
know?
much.
So,
So I had three of
yeah.
them, which were not shockers, but I did not expect them to place, which is why I had 9 out of 12 in the top 12 going for me. But
Hmm.
what really killed me is what happened next, which was the evening gown
In
competition.
the
Which
top
were your
five.
top gowns in the top 12?
Oh, this is without a doubt. My top gowns, I think I loved Russia, the green thing that she wore. Then I liked I think Peru was also very pretty in that white. Hers was good. Thailand was the beautiful with that angel wings. And a lot of people criticizing her with those angel wings. Denmark, because she's a sweetheart of mine, and of course the pink wasn't the best gown, but it was perfect. But I thought Mexico was my favorite. I think Mexico was my favorite gown. It was all puffy and feathery and like full of frills and ruffles and everything possible. I think it looked amazing. I loved it that she held that stole throughout the competition and she didn't ditch it. So I think Mexico is number one for me. Then of course I think Thailand was number two for me, and then Russia. I think Russia, that green and gold, I think it was amazing, and it's a very classic haute couture silhouette. That is why I like Russia. So those are the top three for me. Who was, and the worst, of course, we'll get to that. Who was the best for you?
The music was Robin Thicke Magic, reminded me of 2008 when the same music was played. So I just felt that Miss Universe, the new management should have just checked that you've used the same song for an evening
Mm,
gown round in 2008. Why would you want to do that again? He has so many other hits that he has. Why not those? Robin Thicke, amazing guy, but I just felt that that novelty was not there. Maybe for people who did not know that this has been played earlier. Uh, so that was like, okay, I've heard this, I know
mm,
this, which was comforting, but okay. I do feel that
mm.
standouts were exactly as what you said. I loved Mexico. The moment she stepped in with the crowd, her makeup, I think she just looked perfection. It was beautiful. After that, there was again
Who looked
Thailand.
perfection? My signal.
We're talking of Mexico. Mexico was really nice,
Yeah,
just beautiful,
yeah.
the right set of pink, the right set of, the puff and the shawl or whatever she was carrying reminded me of Evian Sarkos,
Mm,
Miss World 2012 or 11, from Venezuela, who had this huge Cinderella gown, ball gown, which was again that pink
mm,
feathery look,
mm.
beautiful. And then Thailand came next, as Emma mentioned. However, I didn't like the finishing of the feathers. If you carefully looked at them, they didn't look very high quality. It looked more like a SUPW arts and craft way in which these feathers were stuck, especially on the
Mhm.
shoulder. So that was a thing. What I also didn't like is that, which I've never seen in Miss Universe, is that during the evening gown round, girls take off their sash so that they can properly show their dresses. This time around, we saw them wearing the sash, which was completely unnecessary. It comes in between the way of showing the full potential of their gowns, but I'm at least grateful that the time given to the contestants at that time was good enough for us to see the gown properly compared to what we saw at preliminaries, right? So I think that
Mm.
was the good part. And what I didn't like was Venezuela's gown. I think it was looking botched up. I much would have preferred if she would have gone back to her preliminary, which really worked fell for me. I did not sadly like Chile's gown. I felt her preliminaries were better with that pink fuchsia color. It really gave her skin that kind of Hollywood or
Yeah,
that spark.
her gown was terrible. I
It
preferred,
was
yeah.
the same. With Denmark, it was not her gown because, I just felt that this is again a MGI gown. However, it was the fact that it was her favorite color. And once you have your favorite color, you get that confidence in you. Then it's not about the dress. Same thing, Harna's case, where she wanted orange, but then the management team said that, you should not wear. But however, she wore her favorite color and she was very confident in her stride. So I think that's what really helped her to progress further. Biggest disaster for Emma? What was the worst gown for you?
Nigeria, Nigeria. I
No,
just
for me, there's a worst gown, which is Canada.
Canada. What did remind
Salad.
me? What did Canada win?
That salad you said, na green leaves.
Oh
Salad
my
bowl.
God.
Yeah, that
I
was
think, oh my God, Canada. Yeah, I think Nigeria, Canada just equally. I mean, it was
green.
like,
Green is not a color, I would say, for winners.
and
Other
that's not
than this
the
earth.
right green as well. That is not the accurate green to wear. It is either the emerald green or just don't wear green. Simple. Just don't do green, right? And especially for a final competition, I think that was absolute disaster. And Bolivia was very basic. Bolivia's gown was very, very
I don't
basic.
even want to
The
consider it.
purpley thing. I mean, I
I wish Russia
think
would
that's
have
something
swapped
you
her
just wear in
gown.
a event or a dinner or something.
I just wish Russia would have swapped her
I just
gown. I loved her universe gown, which had those Russia's previous gown that she wore in one of
yes,
that would have been
yeah.
really
Oh
nice
my
because
God,
it was
Russia
never
is
shown on the
always
stage.
known for nailing. Yeah, they're known for nailing the evening gown round. Russia's very, very amazing dresses. So, but even then, she wore that green. That was still lovely. It was a very old. If you, that gown actually is a design from a 1960s movie where Dean Martin was acting in it, and so that's where I love that gown. It's an old design, a classic design actually. So that's why I loved it. But I think Nigeria still was the worst because that was a fluorescent green and some weird orangey, some nonsense going on.
Yeah,
It looked like those Jaipuri bed sheets that you see on the roadside when you
right.
go touristing through Jaipur, Rajasthan. It was horrible, and and that material of that train that was there, that fluorescent green was so tacky. It was just tacky,
Now,
and
I
it just
don't
did
know
not
whether
work.
it
It was
was
not
the dress
acceptable.
or was it the lighting that made it look worse because the lighting was equally
No,
bad
but
in
the
the
photographs that I'm seeing, the
dress.
photographs that were now published, it still looks tacky. It's very tacky. It wasn't expensive. At least Canada's frills and fruit salad, the lettuce salad, it had some, it was like some texture to it, some bounce, some,
Uh,
some emotion to it, I would say. But this was just like
Hungry.
fell flat. It was like, oh, yeah, it had an emotion. But this one was like very, very tacky. So I'm super, disappointed. I don't, I think for a fact Nigeria did not think she was going to progress so much, and she did, rightfully. I think now Nigerians are going to take more, focus into the gown they're going to wear, and they're going to send the girls in because they are being noticed now. So congratulations, Nigeria. You are
Another
actually
thing,
wonderful in your answer as well.
another thing,
So,
Emma,
um,
did you miss that Miss Finland did not make in the top 12?
I was sad I saw her gown. It was a very boring blue gown, in fact, when they were doing the evening gown walk and stuff like that. I was very disappointed, but I was also super happy that she got Continental. So she was not overlooked. She was noticed. So she was someone very, very strong. And so, which I'm happy because even the Continental Queens were chosen correctly, very, very correctly. I don't think they messed up there as well. So I think I'm happy that both my girls got crowns. They got some, so that's a good plus point for me. So yes, but then when once Denmark came, I was like, yeah, Finland has to kind of take the back seat now because it's just too
True, I
powerful
think
a
she just
girl.
lost complete steam over
She
time.
lost that spark, but she was still there, so she was noticed in the European zone. So that's another good thing. She was noticed regardless, and she did win something at the end of it. So that means she was a powerful girl, but just not as powerful as Denmark. Okay, so the next part is, of course, Raoul and Madame Conan's famous speeches. I'm not going to talk about it because I got bored. I didn't even watch it, and I did not rewatch it. So Guru's going to give you a brief on what really
I
happened.
don't think you missed a lot. I think the role of Anne is going down with each successive. um,
Mm,
edition of Miss Universe. From all the pomp and show and we, the women, ultra, when you are at a public stage and
mm,
need to walk the talk, and when the entire world knows what you've been up to, and then suddenly, sanitize everything and say that, we are empowerment, it just didn't have anyone's soul attached to it or anyone's energies
mm,
attached to it. It was very for the
mm,
fact that they are the owners. Again, why should owners be there? I never saw Donald Trump come on stage saying that this is my pageant. Come on. He came once, though, I think 2012, he became Santa Claus, so which was funny, but not to, boast about I, me, myself.
mm,
So again, her speech was cut short. It
mm,
was
mm,
just about 2 minutes, which was great. Then there was a montage of how they're empowering women.
mm,
And then there was Raul, who again spoke about the legacy, the legacy, the legacy, and his company's name is Legacy Holding as well. So while you guys say we are having the legacy of Miss Universe organization, well, the entire world looks at you
mm.
only for that 1 or 2 years that you have been there. So please do not attach yourself to that legacy, because your ideals and that legacy is very different. So it was,
True, true.
he couldn't speak English. He was looking at the teleprompter, just talking. You know, didn't have much say, didn't have much great weight as well. But it just
But
shows
let's not spend too much time on it.
not
And
worth it.
let's
Worth it. Not
let's
worth
move on to, of course, the top five, and of course the final questions of the top five. And we saw two rounds of questioning, and it was interesting because in those two rounds for me, Guru, it was they all answered exactly in the two rounds. I don't think anyone stepped it up in the second or from the first
it.
round.
I thought that
I
Nigeria actually
do
did
think there
better
were
in
some
the second one.
standouts.
Nigeria did a
Nigeria
better job
was
in the second one.
she was more I think she was more articulate, and who bombed for me, major bomb, was Mexico. I
But
think her,
it was expected. Yeah, if you look at her
you
national
know,
pageant, it's all beauty. But then when it comes to brains, it was such a rehearsed answer. I want to be the queen of hearts of the people. Oh, there is no logic to
like
the
they're
question.
asking you left and you're talking right, and it's like it just did not even get on the target. It was like she just, I'm going to rehearse what I've said, and that's exactly what she said. She didn't bother with Venezuela and her interpreter. I really don't.
Oh
This again,
Lord,
this, oh
lousy.
my God,
Was
what
that lady carrying
happened?
a Google Translate with her, because she had an iPad and she was just probably
I
she was
think she just input
asking.
the yeah, that's, we can also do it on our phones, and then she just input it and then she got out. So like, what the hell happened? I
There was no one who really wowed me. It's not, we didn't have a Catriona moment, we didn't have a Lara Datta moment. There was no such, or a Harnaz moment for that matter, where it shakes you up. No, nothing of that happened. And I've seen whenever Miss Universe adopts this type of top five and 2 rounds of the question answers, that means they want to somehow set up their own people. It's very clear. Otherwise, uh, top, just take out a top three out of that, no? Why do you have
that
to do
one
detail?
question was the same question they all asked, and they did not do top three. So it was pretty much the same question. What we used to see as top three, and they were all asked one question, and they were wearing earphones. In this case, we saw top five earphones, one question, and then ranked to top five. Fair enough.
Because I
But then
do
having said
feel
that
if
again,
that was the case, then Thailand would not have been left out as number four, because her first answer
see,
was so
first of all,
nice.
we're going to come to the shocker of the topic, because yes, if we talk about, because if we're moving towards that, let's go towards the winning circle and what actually happened. Yes, in terms of question and answers and what we saw and how the judging happened, from ranking the winner to second runner, first runner up to second runner up, yes, we are going to get there. Yes, it's not going to take too much time. It was an absolute gutting moment to see Thailand at second runner up. um she was first runner up for us. She was the first runner-up. Absolutely. She was standing there with Denmark, and she was the one I clearly saw. She was number two for me. Even number two for Guru, I think. So it was absolutely a shocker as to why she did not make it. Then I again feel some political reason why, the politics between the organizations, where Thailand again is not going to place at number.
Correct.
Because then it would have created that same problem because we saw Antonia, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, so you have Thailand again, cooking show, cooking show. I think it's sad for the fact they wanted to not let it feel like a cooking show, and they did not want again Thailand to make it at first. The runner up is that's why she placed second. That's my only thing I can criticize. And for Denmark winning, yes, this girl, we know her turmoils, we know her horrors of her life, the horrors of her past, and she's said it everywhere. The judges, everybody know about it, and she wanted to show a positive side. She was not going to use that as a crutch and say, I have had gone through this, I have gone through this. I'm here to win, I'm here to make history, I'm here to do something, because everybody knows what she's talking about. That's what was beautiful about her. So yes, it kind of made sense throughout that yes, she took it as a positive strive instead of saying cancer of my mother or something and father nothing. I'm here to create history. I'm going to do whatever. So she knew that everybody knows. So I think I love that positivity in her, that cuteness and sweetness and things. So yes, rightfully she was there. But the biggest disappointment, Guru, for me, like I can say, is Thailand. Mexico definitely bombs the way she was perfectly fine. Where Venezuela was perfectly fine, Nigeria, I guess, yeah, she was good. She was good. So top three, again, Thailand could have still made it first runner-up in terms of how her performance was on that evening. And I feel for that factor, they made Nigeria first runner-up because they wanted to stop the lot of pageant people saying cooking show, dissing Conan, dissing Thailand again, creating a whole war of Thailand again. I feel that was my
Another
thing.
conspiracy theory, again, I'm just thinking aloud, was that they had already frozen Mexico's placement at number three, that she had to become in the top three. That time it wasn't that there'll be a top five or a top three. So we want top three for, to host all of this. So she was at number three. And other placements got swapped, which is fine. But her being at number three doesn't make sense, especially after two rounds of questions
Oh,
where
Mexico.
Mexico, where you didn't understand what happened. I would still be okay with Nigeria, Denmark, and Thailand as the top three, but I did not feel the need to put Mexico to three. And that's why people are getting very, very upset that why is Thailand at number four? If she's in the top three, I would still be okay with Thailand being at number three and the top two as they were. But because in the top three there was Mexico, it didn't make sense at all. This was purely rigged by the teams or the people around, or given a guaranteed position, and which is where I just lost hope. If you saw my expression, I was in deep pain when I heard Thailand's name, and it was
I
quite.
was shocked. You see my reaction. I just was stunned for like I don't know how many seconds. I could not believe it. She was not supposed to be there. She was supposed to be the last two standing. It was really, really horrifying to see that.
A very nice
Um,
face, a very nice aura.
and I know Mexico. I knew Mexico was going to make top five. I knew she was going to make top five, but I knew because of the whole
In
country
fact,
factor thing, and
Emma,
she was
you
wonderful
actually
apart from when she.
placed the winner and the second runner up spot on. So you had Mexico at your number three, and you had
Mhm.
Denmark at the winner, which is great. Uh, but I just felt that somewhere in this down, the person was, though Chile was also important to me, but I felt Thailand was the biggest robbery that we saw on that stage that night.
It was sad. Yes, it was. I think the biggest disappointment was Thailand's placing. Um, she could have been there, and I'm tired of people saying cooking show. Sometimes it just happens like that they just do end up getting that. India has won back-to-back crowns. Are you going to say that's a cooking show? No, the girl deserves it. So I don't like it when pageant
They say it,
bloggers and
no,
people just
they say it because of India opening market, beauty,
no,
cosmetics.
I mean, come on. I mean, I used now. Let's talk about this because we're gonna talk about this coming as well because this happened about a Miss Universe as well. So let's finish this and then we'll move on to that same this current issue that we were seeing with people, with bloggers and everything. Overall, I think was fantastic. I love the winner. We all loved her. We were very surprised, and I'm
Wonderful.
happy for a fact that the whole Latina twist changed. And they really picked up a girl that was really gorgeous and lovely from her soul and truly a woman. So the brand ambassador being a woman of whatever they want to, make her advocacy, I think was wonderful. So she is definitely absolute
Emma,
favorite. So I
I
couldn't be more
think
happy.
it was a refreshing top two. They've new
Hmm.
countries, fresh and deserving. What I
Again,
liked
this
about
really
Denmark
is
was
Nigeria.
that she didn't give a winning answer in any of these. However, there was consistency and there was positivity, as you mentioned. She's not taking herself too seriously. She's not here to proclaim a title and she's going to do this and she's going to do. She was having fun. You could see that in the effervescent, positive
Yeah.
channeling of the energy that she did. And I do want to give credit where credit is due. I think the MGI experience really helped her as a quintessential European to bring that
Yeah.
energy onto the Miss Universe stage,
Yeah.
which has always been sort of a missing or lacking piece when it comes to the European continent. So I think that really helped her.
Absolutely.
Even the way she spoke Denmark in her opening, she was loud. Her vocal cords
And
were clear, loud.
yeah. Oh,
Denmark.
powerful. Yeah.
No, it was like those Harnas Kaur, Sandhu, India. It had that same josh.
Yeah.
So I think
You go
from
back and listen to her in the opening, and you see Denmark. You're like, wow, that girl is. And there was a lot of these videos that I was seeing on reels and stuff, and they were asking the local Latinas who's gonna win, who's gonna win, and then there was so many saying Denmark, and I was like, yeah, okay.
fact,
So
guys, we
there's
will post a video of Osmel, and it was in Spanish, but we've tried to translate it, where even he was very clear that we need someone from Europe, and he actually took Denmark's name long before that pageant. So she was in the sweet spot of what the organization wanted, where she could portray herself in the right spirit, and the judges also validated those. So
China o en Europa o en Asia quizá. Debería de ganar una europea. Debería ganar una europea.
A mí Dinamarca me encanta y sí entiendo un poco el punto de Osmel porque también esas chicas van muy bien preparadas. Es verdad que no tienen de pronto, y digo yo, esto sí lo digo con franqueza,
I really noticed from MGI, her blonde, which is that beach blonde, and then now her blonde has changed. So her blonde color has changed. That was more, you know,
it is.
I would say bleach, whitish and stuff. And this was a little dirty blonde, a strawberry blonde, what do you call it? I don't know what you call
It
it, but it
worked well with the
definitely was
crown. It works well with the crown, with the
it
golden.
works beautiful. So the crown is just amazing on her. It's looking fantastic. We had issues with this, but it just works on her. So the beautiful, she's changed her color of her blonde and it worked. So absolutely stunning, I think. Congratulations, Denmark. I'm so happy that you won and I finally got something right. And it's I followed my heart and it's paid off. So yeah,
I
we
think
got something. And pageant gurus are always getting it right. But it's guru, it's me, we
but
getting it.
Emma,
So
there was
yeah, we've got
one
a good streak,
queen.
don't you think?
Absolutely, Emma. I think it was great.
Mm.
And I hope this winning streak continues for us as well as for the winners. But there was one queen who did not get her due, and that was Shanice Palacios' final farewell walk, which was such a disappointment considering what had to be and what actually came on stage.
Yeah.
Again,
But when we
production
realize
lights
what happened,
issues, horrible. It was such a beautiful gown. It would have been up there if everything went off well because it had colors of the universe. She was a walking galaxy, I would say, but it bombed. Her face, we could not see the expression on her face. It was sad. It was really sad because this girl has done nothing, but it just came across as that's not the end of how I expected her reign to be. You know, I just feel very, very sad about this. It's the gown that we never saw. And I just wish her all the best of luck. She's been an amazing queen right from Miss World to now, and wishing her all the very best from the pageant gurus. That is another
I
thing.
do agree. And I feel she didn't get a moment. All the other queens have always got the moment and had a longer speech when they are walking
Yes,
out and they're having the
best
ceremony.
is
So
the
very
MGI.
short.
MGI
Yeah, it was very
Philippines.
short. And MJ is long, like
It's
5 minutes of
on.
it
Yeah,
goes
she goes
on.
on and on and on and on.
And And I love MJ for the fact is that he dethrones her but gives her a crown to take home. So that is the most sweetest thing. And the fact is that, and I feel bad that this reign ended for her like that. Um, her crowning moment was very quick, like when the minute she gave the crown, and then she's lost in the crowd and we never see her again, so that was kind of sad. So yeah, I think it's very emotional for them, and but we love Shayla and we hope that she's gonna stick around in America. I hope she's gonna get asylum there. I hope she gets political asylum there and she's gonna eventually stay in America. I'm not sure what her plan is, but we hope the best for her, and we hope that we're gonna see her back on the Miss Universe stage doing something, you know maybe not hosting because she's not very good at the
No, no, no,
speaking
no, no,
bit,
no.
which we
Please.
already have said before. The
I did
no
expect fun.
hosting, but maybe we can see her in something good. Yeah. So, okay. So now we're going to talk about some interesting things that have happened after this pageant ended, soon after, and during it as well. Lots to cover because a lot of interesting to what's happened after Queen. So Guru's going to give us the breakdown on that.
So we finally had what Miss World has been always doing, which is the Continental Queens. Quite okay with the logic because you had the Philippines get it for Asia, whereas Thailand was in the top 5. Then you had given it to Nigeria because she's in the top 2, but then Zimbabwe did not get it. So somewhere I was not quite clear on the logic, though Miss Universe organization says that after the preliminaries, these were the top girls. But I do feel from Asia, um, Thailand was the clear winner compared to Philippines for that matter. So I do feel these are some sort of consolation prizes which are to fit other requirements. They have to prove this by doing this every year from now. They can't just include this year and then remove it next year. That's another reason why people don't think these awards as credible. Miss Skin going regressing back to confidently beautiful and beautifully confident, and then you're trying to include this to get your hair
Wait.
care and your your cosmetic line up. That's not the way things go. I like the fact that Miss Congeniality was there. I loved Miss Trinidad and Tobago. So I do feel that's something that's great and they should continue this. On Miss South Africa, it's
Mm,
so surreal that there was a time when Miss Nigeria and Miss Universe first runner up had to withdraw from the Miss South Africa pageant for X number of reasons. And then we saw Miss South Africa had to withdraw
mm,
from Miss Universe. So it was a very, I wouldn't say karmic, but a very weird coincidence that, at different stages for the two ladies, they had to withdraw from other competitions because they are made for. So it was, quite surreal that, one queen had to withdraw from a competition and she got a bigger chance in Miss Universe. Similarly, Mia had
mm.
to withdraw, even though she was the winner of a competition which probably Chidima would have won. So it's so surreal that both of them had to withdraw from their candidacy at different stages of the competition. And I hope, in fact, she came out on Instagram talking about the fact that she struggled till the very end, but physically, Mia was not able to pull through. Somewhere down the line, she has mentioned in a very not so direct way that it was not just inclusion when it comes to winning at the national level, but at the international level, the support has to be there. So we do believe that the Miss Universe organization did not do enough in terms of taking care of her, specifically for the condition that she had. Miss Fiji today came out and said that if ever she had a daughter, she would not let her compete at the Miss Universe competition till the time the current management is there. So there are voices that are clearly coming out, probably because of NDAs. We saw what happened with Miss Panama. I don't know what is the reality, but completely marred with
Mm.
different controversies all through. Not the image that we have of Miss Universe that has always, stayed away from gossip and controversies to boost engagement. That was never Miss Universe game. That was always MGI game. And to add fuel to fire, we had the latest Hulu documentary. Guys, you can go and check it out, which literally rips apart not just
Absolutely.
Conan, but also the whole empire of Raul Rocha and how things are built on trust, but there are back, biting plus a lot of money spoken about on Osmel without giving clear rationale. So it just leaves a very bad taste for pageantry per se.
Country itself is being marred in many ways, either the organization, but also we've seen another controversy come out from the vloggers itself, because then who is right here? Again, you have the organization doing what they are, they're being called out by the vloggers, and then the vloggers are also showing hate and discrimination and a whole lot of queens, not just a Miss Universe. And well, they make their money out of it. They're given press media cards. They're going there representing the organization, and they, in many ways, they are being, encouraged to come and speak there. You have a responsibility being a vlogger as well. Now, we call out at Pageant Gurus, we are very honest about criticism. We have constructive criticism. We show love no matter who, where, how, and we have a thing of bringing the community together. Now, as a vlogger, you have a responsibility, Guru, don't you think, for the fact that okay, if we don't like somebody, there's a way we criticize, or there's a way we judge them, or the way we like or don't like the contestant. But how I think we're equally responsible to also not allow encourage this thing to go on. So it's like a demand and supply thing. You're seeing all this thing about the organization, but then look at what the pageant community is also doing by themselves, and now the amount of hate they're spreading. They're also not just, I mean, the term would be that they're not as pure as they say they are. It's not true. It's what's sad. And there was a disclaimer posted from Miss Universe talking about this person, and they had to specifically name this blogger. So that was a shocker, like to have to name him. It was that severe. It was actually that severe. So then that questions everything. We're here, we are Pageant, we love it. We talk about it because we absolutely passionate about it. And there's a reason why we started a channel, because of the hate and the bullying that Harnaz had to go through. And many of them were being fueled by such pageant bloggers. So it's not stopping, Guru. I mean, today you have Miss Universe talking out for a girl that did not even win the pageant, but they supported that girl and they had to speak out and put a disclaimer today. um, it is shocking. I mean, why couldn't they do it? My thing is, okay, they should have done it for Harnaz as well. For me, that was my thing, that Harnaz was going through just as worse. They could have done something like that. But if it's coming to a point where bloggers itself are reaching this, you know, they're stooping to that level, when does it stop? Or who's going to stop it? Or where does it stop? It's just like a complete mess everywhere.
So I think which is where, being independent and having a view becomes extremely important, and to stick to that view. And I think
Mm.
then nothing else matters. If you're true to an opinion, and everyone has the right to their opinion, we've clearly called out what we don't like and what we liked. And if we've not liked, we've not used the harsh terms, even
Mm.
while responding to queries online or our community. We always are mindful of that. And if we stick to one narrative, we stick to it, and that shows that there are vested interests, where we've seen certain countries and certain vloggers are only talking good things about certain countries because it leads to A, B, C, D. This is how it impacts or affects them in a good way. And when they show them the mirror, then they are sob, then they're taking their words back, or they didn't say that they meant it this way. I think that's where objectivity and integrity become extremely important. It is something that all of us are in, and nobody is right or wrong, but that's my view, that if you stick to it, and if you don't need to change the narrative and come and make a huge scene out of everything.
Yeah,
It's
I think
they're
it
not
was
they're
quite
not that important.
immature.
Let me also put it this way, right? I think for that matter, I think even the organization to come to that level where they've specified, it could have just
Had to.
been natural and just finished off.
But then we don't know what happened, Guru. That video has been taken down.
I
I
saw
have
it.
seen many videos towards it, but that led up to that moment for that video. But that video, I've not really seen what really happened. But the fact is that the country's just lashed out, and the thing is that to put such a big disclaimer, specifically naming the person, it is crushing. But then, yeah, own up. Pull yourself together, man. Stand up for yourself and say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, I made a karma and stuff like that. But the point is that, you know what? Don't cry. Don't pull yourself down in front of people. Even if something bad's happened, stand up for yourself. Apologize. All right, I'm sorry. Not gonna happen again, or whatever.
Listen to
It
him.
builds
Finish it up.
integrity. But never be so vulnerable that you're crying for like 5 minutes on a thing. That was like really like, okay, come on. Nobody wants to see that. You
Because
don't need to
I've
be
seen
that vulnerable.
this has happened earlier as well in 2021. It was in a similar fashion where he took on to social
Ooh.
media, the same person. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
been
okay.
it's been a it's not one off. So yeah, I just feel as present bloggers, we have the responsibility to be objective, to be
Yeah.
respectful, and to accept in a gracious way, and also move on. Don't take it too seriously, I would say.
Yeah, I
That
don't think it's, but then, I think it's scary because I think his life revolves around this. And
so,
then the organization that he probably loves so much has called him out, and that's probably heartbreaking for him. So I do sympathize, and it's really sad for him. But you know what, guy, grow up, sweetie. Just, evolve now. Just evolve. All right? It's fine. This is life. And you've got a speeding ticket now. Well, change yourself and start again. You have your followers and everything, but now's the time to show that you're better than what they all think you're not, or what you need to change about yourself. You can be better than you are, and we all keep making mistakes, and we all learn from it, and we all better ourselves. So do the same, but don't cry. And
As
you say he's done that
Catriona,
before. It's like,
as Catriona says, right? It's always redirection. So take it in your stride
yeah,
and move forward. I think as pageant
yeah.
gurus, as probably your elders, we are much elder than you.
We're veterans. We may not look it, but we are really, really older too. You're much older too. So take this advice from us, guys. If anything happens, it's okay. Okay, just apologize magnanimously, confidently, boldly apologize for your mistake, and move on and evolve. That's it. This crying bit was like, I think now you're saying it's happened before. I'm like, yeah, okay, now it's gonna be a cringe. So people are again bludgeoning him. So I hope he doesn't just go too much into depression. Get out of it. Step out of it, sweetie. And well, we hope to see
Think
you
of it.
pick up again. And of course, there was like, and a lot of vloggers are making funny videos. And this one we're going to sign off with is, of course, there is this very favorite a person on Instagram who posts a lot on pageants, has shown some old video of Denmark. It's like it's a tourist video about the sites in Denmark. And then that's it. It's just the sites in Denmark. So nothing really much happens. They just show you all the famous places in Denmark and in live, of course, not real live, but the recordings. And then he's like, look at Denmark after winning Miss Universe. No one is supporting her. I mean, oh my God. So I'm going to go to Taj Mahal and then show a recording of people watching Taj Mahal and walking around eating chaat and then say Rachel Gupta won and nobody's reacting to it. I mean, come on. I mean, you're spreading that sort of stupid, propaganda for what? I don't understand.
I would
So
flip it.
this is
I
what.
would flip it to another thing, because
Yeah,
I've been to Denmark. It's a beautiful country. Copenhagen, beautiful city.
yeah, yeah.
Very vibrant people. And even if that is right, what he has posted, then also it's very important
But he
that
hasn't
it is
spoken to anyone but us. It's just.
randomness. But
Did
the
he go
thing
to
is,
her hometown? Did he go to her house? Did he go to her school? Or did he go where she works somewhere and then say, she won?
you
Come
should
on.
see
If
her
you're gonna
national
like just
director.
imagine right now, Rachel won. Rachel won in my entire Haryana. Nothing happened. But where
Correct.
she's from in Punjab, everything happened. Okay.
You
So
choose,
what is your logic?
you
It
choose
is
your
a
narrative.
stupid, senseless logic.
Even if it is nobody is looking at it, that means the organization did absolutely right, because that's where the potential is. Like the way Rachel said, right? People are not involved because you've not given them a winner. So now, since Denmark
Yeah.
has got a winner, potential will come as well. And she is the
No, but it's not football.
quintessential keeper.
Let's face facts here. This is not football. The football is a matter of life and death in European countries and of course South America. So
Okay, for us.
if your country has reached the knockouts, if it's reached the semifinals, you will see madness on the streets of these countries because they are football playing nations. These are not pageantries. Pageantries are let's face facts here. There are a very small demographic of people who follow pageantry in every country, apart from Philippines and Thailand, everybody is into it. Okay, but not in India. We have 1.5 billion, and how many actually pageant followers? Think about it. But we have the strongest queen. So now there was a time when the whole, even when
Point.
Harnaz won, she didn't meet the prime minister, she didn't meet everybody. So we do give that respect. But is everyone celebrating on the streets? No. But when India wins the cricket World Cup, the whole country celebrates. So understand what is the passion of the country. You cannot just go to Denmark and say, oh, nobody's celebrating. It's the most lamest, stupid thing. But I'll tell you, when Denmark made it to the knockouts, trust me, people were all on the street celebrating, in every pub, every possible place they were out with their flags. So little things, guys, you're making reels like this, it is so lame, it is so ridiculous. You're just bringing on hate for no reason because Denmark won. So I think a European winning was long awaited. I've always said the European has to win, and I'm very happy that she did win. And it was a strong, it was crazy, the competition, Guru. There was so many Latinas, it was just
The
like a
last
bloodshed at
blonde
one point,
woman was the last blonde woman that won was in 2004. Jennifer Hawkins.
Oh,
It's been a
oh my
long
God, Jennifer
time.
Hawkins, Australia. Yeah.
The last
Oh my
blonde,
God.
blue-eyed blonde woman that have won. But again, to
I
take
loved
anything that
her.
Anne takes seriously is really very, very immature on our part. When she doesn't have words to say that, if somebody's asking her, what is the evolution? And she just says, oh, blue-eyed, and come on, don't take those things seriously. She doesn't know what she speaks. Yes, she is where she is, but we all know the power that she had has reduced considerably. And I
He
do
has no IQ, Guru.
in,
Kunal has
in
no
a couple
IQ
of
as
years,
such.
I do expect that it'll just be Rahul who will manage the entire Miss Universe organization. It has to be this way. It can't sustain the way it is, with Anne and
No, she's on
um,
her way out. I absolutely
through.
agree. Kunan is on her way out. I think, if you see, she just had one pageant and it was bought over. Now I think another pageant, then she'll be kicked out. Somebody else will come in. He's gonna get in his guys and he's gonna get rid of her because we saw clashes, which was backstage, and of course it reflected in the competition, and we saw that. So I do feel that Kunan's also on a way out, and I don't think he's happy with her. It's clear he's not happy with her, and I don't think he's happy with Oswell as well because that guy's a real weirdo. I think we all think he's a weirdo. So I do feel um again we're going to see some other added on management or added on something. I don't think it's just going to be them. No, I don't. That's another prediction I have for
The last
2025.
thing is that they have actually given countries that could host the 2025 pageant, which includes India, which is quite weird. I think there was Thailand, there was Costa Rica, there was Morocco, there was India, and a couple more.
France as well.
Is I don't
France, no,
know. But
there was something.
this time was the only time they did not, because for the last two editions they've been telling the exact name of the host country. It was all signed and done, but this time they don't have a host country. So I don't know what gimmick is being played
Yeah,
out. Only time will tell. I have stopped taking these things seriously. It For all you know, everything is already planned, and it is going to be in Thailand
I,
because it's
I, I again
one
feel that
territory.
there is some management issue where maybe, yeah, Anne wants it somewhere, he wants it somewhere. So yeah, no.
We shall see
Hmm.
how it.
Definitely not India, please. I don't
No,
think
no,
they
I
should
don't
come
want
to
to.
India. They are not the capacity to hold something like.
True. Otherwise, we'll have again Hira Mandi part two would have
Not
come
India,
then.
please. I don't think anyone will want to go there.
I think,
Hiram,
yeah, by that time, Hira Mandi.
Netflix Shark Tank. Then we'll have the Kokila Bear. Just get her.
Bas,
But
bas, bas, bas. Okay, on
oh
that
yeah,
note,
get
I
Kokila
do
Bear to come as
believe.
the host in front of Kunan. That would be like a
Ayyo,
showdown.
no, 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 enough. I think, okay, whatever it was, overall rating for Miss Universe edition this time on a scale of 10, what is your score?
Say that again. Your voice is.
So, overall, closing remarks,
Wait, what?
overall remarks and overall number or rating for the Miss Universe, the entire thing from, send away to the activities, to the preliminary, to the finals, to the winner, all combined. What is your rating, Emma?
From 1 to 10, I would rate it a 6. I would rate it a 6. It was not all bad. It was not all good. It was between it. I would give it a 6. I would give it a 6
For me,
because I think that it would have been 4 for me, but 2 points extra was the fact that I saw good judging. So I would give it 6 out of 10.
I
Um,
do believe for my side it's a 4. And that 4 out of the 4, 3 is
for
because of the winner and the way judging happened. Other than that, miserable. The girls were stuck in the hotel, whether it's security reasons or they can't do this, they can't. Then why to host in a country and the promises made, you're going to go to these lands and these cities, you'll experience the richness and culture of Mexico. All I saw every day opening the TV was just pageant fans shouting in the lobby with this one. I think there's some crazy painting of some cat with some skull, one of those Katrina's thing. And like every day they're just walking in their best costumes in the lobby, in the kitchen, in the bedroom. Like it's so sad. Miss Universe
yeah, there
goes
was
with such high
there was
hope.
yeah, there was a threat for them, so they had to stay indoors. And the fact that they kept the girls alive, I think let's be like, okay, they please came back in one piece. They're all
Yeah,
in one piece
that,
because there
that
was a lot
itself
of
is
death
sometimes.
threats and lot of
And I think these girls
crazy
have
things
an
that were going on
NDAs.
outside.
That's why they have NDAs. That's why they're not speaking up about this.
They can't speak up because their life was in danger. Actually have inside information that one of the contestants, that three of the contestants that would they have in it, if I have inside information that they were given death threats, and the national director was given death threats. So yeah, for a fact, I think they had nothing else to do but stay in the hotel, and I think they're alive and they're back home. I think that's, well, oh, thank God, nothing bad happened. Which it could have gone really bad if something, oh my God, if they messed up, I think it would have been really horrible,
That would have been.
horrifying, and I don't. need to see that in a competition where we're trying to empower women and you want to hurt them. So it's absolutely outrageous, but they were safe. So you know what? Fine. I don't think it should be in Mexico. I would love to see it in a European country. I would love to see wherever they're going to take it. Definitely not India. Definitely not Asia. We're bored of Asia. I'm bored of Mexico. I mean, I'm not, sorry, not Mexico. Bored of the South American countries, but I would love to see it in Europe. But not like what we see in Poland, but something much better and something much more classy and fun. So let's hope that for the best. So that's pretty much up with the Miss Universe. However, Pageant Gurus, I've got something cooking, and you guys must be wondering what that's about. And we're going to start revealing that periodically. But Guru's going to give you a little hint on what you can expect in the coming week. Guru,
Well,
what is cooking?
something is cooking, and that something cooking will be your own cooking show. And so you get your utensils ready, get your recipes that you like ready, and get your masala, your tadkas, your seasoning ready. And we shall see.
To the winner. Let's see what's going to happen. So, well, that's it for us, guys. For the Miss Universe season is finally over. It was ups and downs, but you know what? It ended up on a sweet note, at least. So, well, we got a lovely queen from Denmark, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2025 for Miss Universe, and we hope it just picks up. So, well, that's it for us, guys. We got lots more coming up this week. Although it's the year ending, we still have a lot of pageant fun stuff for you guys. So, you want to stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified on our upcoming videos. And of course, please follow us on Instagram because the cooking thing is going to get really hot on Instagram. You want to be there. You don't want to miss this out. And well, that's pretty much it. Have a fun, amazing, beautiful, relaxing Sunday and a blessed week ahead. That's up for us. Take care, guys. Shukriya.